A Canadian Teacher Job Guide. Canadian Teacher Job Introduction. This is about how to get educated then find a job either as a teacher or professor at grade schools in Canada, the United States and the world. I start off providing information about how to get educated as a teacher, find a job and lists of most American and Canadian school boards, public schools and private schools. Chapter 1. Canadian Teacher Guide. Canadian Teacher Education Job Websites 1. academic360.com. academiccareers.com, academic careers online. academicinvest.com, Academic Invest. academicwork.ca, Canadian Association of University Teachers, CAUT. accc.ca, Association of Canadian Community Colleges, ACC. admin.acadia.ca/council/careers/edu_teach.html. aeceo.ca, Early Childhood Educators. applytoeducation.com, elementary/secondary, apply to teach. applytoteach.ca. attention.org, Teach Network Canada's one-stop employment recruitment system for teachers. aucc.ca, AUC Association of Universities and Colleges of Canada lists employment opportunities for those interested in teaching at the college and university level. bcteacherregulation.ca, BC Ministry of Education Teacher Regulation Branch. bctf.ca, British Columbia Teachers Federation. ca.indeed.com. campusaccess.com/campus_web/educ/e4grad_techa-r.htm. canadianresearch.org, canadianresearchcareerdu.eu. canadianteachermagazine.com, Canadian Teacher Magazine, CTM. cantach.ca. cantach.net, Can Teach. career.edu. career.edu, cat = 94. casa-acas.ca, Canadian Association of School Administrators. caut.ca, Association of University Teachers. cbie.ca, Canadian Bureau for International Education. ccacc.ca, Canadian Counselling Association. ccl-ca/ccl/about/ccl/knowledge centers/adult learning/index.html, adult learning knowledge. ccv-cvc.ca/index researcher-eng.frm, Canadian Common CV resource when applying to federal, provincial, and not-for-profit research funding organizations. cdnsba.org, Canadian School Boards Association. cea-ace.ca, Canadian Education Association. cf.ca, Teaching Abroad Program Centre. cfee.org, Canadian Foundation for Economic Education. Chronicle.com, Chronicle of Higher Education, American. cla.ca, Canadian Library Association. ClassroomCanada.com, Teaching in London. cpf.ca, Learn to be a French as a second language teacher. cstd.ca, Canadian Society for Training and ctf.ca/about/affiliates.html, Canadian Teachers Federation. ctf-fce.ca, Canadian Teachers Federation, CTF. ctf-fce.ca, Canadian Teachers Federation, Project Overseas. ctf-fce.ca, Canadian Teachers Federation. Development, CSTD. eaea.org, European Association for Education of Adults. edu.gov/mb.ca/ks4/profcert/teach exchange, teacher exchange. education.uottawa.ca/en/faculty/positions. educationcanada.com, Education Canada, teaching jobs in Ontario, mostly private schools. edujobs.ca. edujobscanada.com. eluda.ca. e-refrenceddesk.com/education/schools-in-Canada. etfo.on.ca, Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario. exchanges.gc.ca, Teacher Exchange. georgebrown.ca, College, Toronto, Teaching Department. gov.pe.ca, Teacher Exchange. hiredjobs.com, Higher Ed Jobs. hiredjobs.com/state, elementary/secondary, hiredjobs.com. icg.uk.org/c2/uploads/canada.pdf. impactteachers.com, Canadian teachers wanted in Britain. ewantabetterjobnow.com, Education. jobs.hrsb.ns.ca, Halifax School Board. jobsearch.educationcanada.com. jobsearch.educationcanada.com, elementary/secondary, Education Canada. jobs-edu.ca. jobsineducation.com, elementary/secondary, Jobs in Education. mbteach.org, Manitoba. meq.gov.qc.ca, Teaching Abroad Program. Network. oct.ca, Ontario College of Teachers. oct.ca/becoming-a-teacher/jobs-in-education, Ontario College of Teachers, Jobs. onlinegraduateprograms.com. phdjobs.com. Positions available. post-docs.com, postdoc jobs. reach-to-teach-recruiting.com, reach-to-teach-teachaway.com. resource.educationcanada.com/salaries.htmleics.ab.ca, Elk Island Catholic Schools Teaching. sask.govsk.ca/student-records/teach exchange. schoolcnews.canoe.ca. simplyhired.ca. stf.sk.ca, Saskatchewan Teachers Federation. tdsb.on.ca, Toronto District School Board Jobs. teacherlibrarian.com. teachers.ab.ca. teachingjobs.com. teaching-jobs.freeadsincanada.com. teachinontario.ca. uc411.com/get-certified.asp. universityaffairs.ca, University Affairs. universityaffairs.ca, University Affairs Educationcanada.com. versatilephd.com. 6fprogram.com, 877-798-4115, Canadians Teach School in the U.S. jobsineducation.com. Canadian Teacher Education Job Websites 2. Canadian Education Association. 317 Adelaide St. W, Suite 300. Toronto, on M5V1P9. Canada. CEA-ACE.ca. Canadian Teachers Federation. 2490 Don Reed Drive. Ottawa, on K1H1E1. Canada. CTF-FCE.ca. Canadian Vocational Journal. POB 3435, STA. D. Ottawa, on KIP 6L4. 613-838-6012. Fax, 613-838-6012. Educational Digest. 11966 Woodbine Avenue. Gormley, on L0H IGO. 905-887-5048. Fax, 905-887-0764. Professionally Speaking. 121 Bloor Street East. 6th floor. Toronto, on M4W3M5. 416-961-8800. Fax, 416-961-8822. Quebec Home and School News. 3285 Cavendish Boulevard. Number 60. Montreal, QCH4B2L9. 514-481-5619. Fax, 514-481-5610. Get a Canadian teacher degree online. yorkvilleu.ca, Masters in Education in Canada. icslearn.ca, become a teacher aide with at-home training. discover.concordiaonline.net, get an online Master of Education from Concordia. Canadian Teacher Education Programs. Education Canada Network. Number 305-478 Bernard Ave. Kelowna, BC V1Y6N7. Canada. resource.educationcanada.com/certification.html. A list of institutions with accredited teacher education programs. The Canadian Teachers Federation. 110 Argyle Avenue. Ottawa, on K2P1B4. 613-232-1505. Fax, 613-232-1886. ctf-fce.ca. Teacher Accreditation by Province, Canada. The Canadian Teachers Federation. 110 Argyle Avenue. Ottawa, on K2P1B4. 613-232-1505. Fax, 613-232-1886. ctf-fce.ca. Newfoundland. Newfoundland and Labrador Teachers Association. 3 Kenmount Road. St. John's, NFA 1B1W1. 709-726-3223. Fax, 709-726-4302. stemnet.nl.ca/organizations/nlta. Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia Teachers Union. 3106 Dutch Village Road. Halifax, NSB 3L4L7. 902-477-5621. Fax, 902-477-3517. nstu.ns.ca. Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island Teachers Federation. 24 Glen Stewart Drive. POB 6000. Charlottetown, PEC 1A8B4. 902-569-4157. Fax, 902-569-3682. New Brunswick. New Brunswick Teachers Association. POB 752. 650 Montgomery. Fredericton, NBE 3B5R6. 506-452-8921. Fax, 506-453-9795. For teachers who teach in English. Association des enseignants et des enseignants francophones du Nouveau Brunswick. 650 Montgomery, CP 712. Fredericton, NBE 3B5B4. 506-452-8921. Fax, 506-453-9795. For teachers who teach in French. New Brunswick Teachers Federation. Fédération des enseignants du Nouveau-Brunswick. POB/C.P.I 535. Fredericton, NBE 3B5G2. 506-452-8921. Fax, 506-453-9795. United Teachers Union. Quebec. Centrale de l'enseignement du Québec. 9405, Rue Sherbrooke Est. Montreal, QCH1L6P3. 514-356-8888. Fax, 514-356-9999. For teachers who teach in the French language. Quebec Provincial Association of Teachers. 17035 Brunswick Boulevard. Kirkland.QCH9H5G6. 514-694-9777. Fax, 514-694-0189. For teachers who teach in the English language. Ontario. Ontario College of Teachers. 121 Bloor Street East 12H floor. Toronto, on M4W3M5. 416-961-8800. 888-534-2222. Fax, 416-961-8822. oct.on.ca. Qualifications Evaluation. Council of Ontario. 1300 Yonge St. 2nd floor. Toronto, on M4T1X3. 416-323-1969. 800-385-1030. Fax, 416-323-9589. Information about salary categories. Ontario Teachers Federation. Number 700. 1260 Bay Street. Toronto, on M5R2B5. 416-966-3424. Fax, 416-966-5450. In Ontario, Bylaw I of the Ontario Teachers Federation requires you to join specific affiliate federations depending on categories like the level of school, elementary or secondary, language of instruction, and public. District School Board or a Roman Catholic Separate School Board. Association des enseignants et des enseignants franco-ontariens/AEFO. 681 Chemin Belfast. Ottawa, on K1GOZ4. 800-267-4217. 613-244-2336. Fax, 613-563-7718. For teachers who teach in the French language. Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario/ETFO. 480 University Avenue No. 1000. Toronto, on M5G1V2. 416-962-3836. 888-838-3836. For public school elementary teachers. Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association/OECTA. 65 St. Clair Avenue East, number 400. Toronto, on M4T2Y8. Local calls, 416-925-2493. From area code 416:1-800-268-7001. From area code 519-613, 705:1-800-268-7230. Fax, 416-925-7764. Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation/OSSTF. 60 Mobile Drive. Toronto, on M4A2P3. Local calls, 416-751-8300. From area code 416:1-800-268-5725. From area code 519-613, 705:1-800-268. 6515. From area code 807:1-800-268-5730. Fax, 416-751-3394. Manitoba. Manitoba Teachers Society. 191 Harcourt Street. Winnipeg, MBR3J3H2. 204-888-7961. Fax, 204-831-0877. Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan Teachers Federation. 2317 Arlington Avenue. Saskatoon, SK.S7J2H8. 306-3T3-1660. Fax, 306-374-1122. Regina Office, 306-525-0368. stf.sk.ca. Alberta. Alberta Teachers Association. 11,010 to 142 Street. Edmonton. Ob T5N2R1. 780-447-9400. Fax, 780-455-6481. British Columbia. British Columbia Teachers Federation. 100 to 556th Avenue West. Vancouver, BCV 5Z4P2. 604-871-2283. Fax, 604-871-2290. Northwest Territories. Northwest Territories Teachers Association. 5018-48 TH Street. POG 2340. Yellowknife.ntx1A2P7. 867-873-8501. Fax, 867-873-2366. Nunavut. Canadian Teachers Federation. 613-232-1505. ctf-fce.ca. Department of Education. POG 2410. Government of Nunavut. Building 1088E. Iqaluit, Nunavut Koa Oho. 867-975-5000. Fax, 867-975-5095. Nunavut.com/education. Yukon Territory. Yukon Teachers Association. 2064 2nd Avenue. Whitehorse, YTY1A1A9. 867-668-6777. Fax, 867-667-4324. Canada Education/Teaching Organizations. accc.ca/english/forum/opportunities/index.asp, Association of Canadian Community Colleges Opportunities. Attention.org, Apply to Teach Network. Teachers.ab.ca, Alberta Teachers. aefnb.nb.ca, Association des enseignants et des enseignants francophones du Nouveau-Brunswick. franco.ca/aefo, Association des enseignants et des enseignants franco-ontariens. aucc.ca, AUCC, University Affairs. bctf.bc.ca/bctf, British Columbia Teachers Federation. educationcanada.com, Education Canada Network. etfo.on.ca/index.html, Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario. jobsineducation.com, Jobs in Education. mbteach.org, Manitoba Teachers Society. teachers.nb.ca, New Brunswick Teachers Association. nstu.ns.ca, Nova Scotia Teachers Union. nlta.nf.ca, Newfoundland and Labrador Teachers Association. nwtta.nt.ca, Northwest Territories Teachers Association. oct.on.ca, Ontario College of Teachers. erecta.on.ca, Ontario English Catholic. ossdf.on.ca, Ontario Secondary School. otfvo.on.ca, Ontario Teachers Federation. stf.sk.ca, Saskatchewan Teachers ADMO. waterloo.ca/infosc/crc/teaching/teaching.contents.html, so you want to be a teacher. ouac.on.ca/ts, Teacher Education Application Service Ontario. ctf-fce.ca/e/teaching.htm, Teaching in Canada. teachingjobs.com, teachingjobs.com. Chapter 2. Canadian Teacher by Subject. Canadian English Teacher. acute.ca, Association of Canadian College and University Teachers of English. Canadian Physical Education Teacher Jobs. phecanada.ca, Physical and Health Education Canada. Canadian Vocational Teacher / Canadian CTE Teacher. abcte.org. actionline.org. careertech.org. ilcte.org. CASE.com, Canadian Association of Career Educators. career-dev-guidelines.org, Career Development Standards and Guidelines, Canada. Chapter 3. Canadian Teacher Websites. Canadian Teacher Websites. ctf-fce.ca, Canadian Teachers Federation. pc.gc.ca/apprendre-learn/prof/index_e.asp, Parks Canada, Teachers Corner. canada.teachers.net, Canadian Teachers Net. STAO.org, Science Teachers Association of Ontario. thecanadianteacher.com. canada.teachers.net. canadian.teachers.net. canadian.teachers.net/chatboard. media-awareness.ca/english/teachers. educationcanada.com. teaching-canada.degreebreeze.com, online teaching degree. applytoteach.ca. otpp.com, Ontario Teachers Pension Plan. accc.ca, Association of Canadian Community Colleges. aucc.ca, Association of Universities and Colleges of Canada. oct.ca/become_teachers/faculties.aspx?lang=n-ca, Ontario. educationcanada.com. Canadian Teachers Federation. 2490 Don Reed Drive, Ottawa, on K1H1EI, Canada. ctf-fce.ca, Canadian Association of University Teachers. 2705 Queensview Drive, Ottawa, on K2B8K2, Canada. caut.ca, Canada Teacher Resource Websites at dmoz-odp.org/regional/north_america/canada/education/resources_for_educators. atozehomeschooling/Canada_homeschooling/Canada_homeschool_directory, Canada Homeschool Directory, resources, support groups, and laws for homeschooling. Boreal.com, Boreal Laboratories Ltd. CanadaHeroes.com, Canada Heroes, a resource offering quick information about Canadians who have achieved in some manner or performed heroic tasks and have been honoured in Canada. CanadianGeographic.ca/atlas/learningtools.aspx?lang=n, Canadian Atlas Online Learning Centre, classroom lesson plans prepared for topics featured in the Canadian Atlas Online by teacher members of the Canadian Council for Geographic Education. design4effect.com/soc11, Social Studies Grade 11, a social studies textbook written by the teachers of the North Vancouver School District, focused on Canada and its position in the world. K12STUDYCANADA.org, K12 Study Canada provides teachers and students with resources for teaching and learning about Canada, including workshops, teacher loan kits, lesson plans, curriculum modules and a list of related websites. Learning.ca, Canadian Educational Resources, a collection of links to learning resources. letstalkscience.ca, Let's Talk Science, a non-profit charity striving to improve science literacy through educational programs, research, and advocacy. midnightbeach.com/hs/canada.html, Canadian Homeschool Resources, Canadian Homeschool Support Groups and Online Resources. powerofen.ca, Power of 10, provides resources and services to assist teachers in the teaching of mathematics and arithmetic. rcmusic.ca/learning through UG Hearts, LTTA Learning Through the Arts, offers lesson plans in arts subjects, for teachers, combining art with K-8 subjects. telus.net/Gifted Canada, Gifted Canada, a forum for Canadian researchers, educators, organizations, and families to share information concerning gifted education, research and resources. Ontario Teacher Resource websites at dmoz-od.org/regional/north_America/Canada/Ontario/education/resources_for_educators. By dewey.com/webquests.html, webquests, a research tool and guide for students up to grade 12 arranged by Dewey Decimal Classification. emond.ca/school.html, Emond Publishing School offers access to free, quality resources for teachers. ilc.org, Independent Learning Centre, features homework help for Ontario students with teachers available for chat online. linktolearning.com, Link to Learning, links to websites supporting the Ontario educational curriculum for kindergarten through grade 8. ohq.torontopubliclibrary.ca/oq, Ontario History Quest, the Archives of Ontario, in partnership with the Toronto Public Library and the City of Toronto Archives, presents an online learning resource for Ontario students studying history. POWER4BONES.com, Power 4 Bones, education program for grade 5 classes in Ontario and Alberta focusing on how milk builds bone mass. TeachinOntario.ca, Teach in Ontario, a government-funded site offering assistance for internationally trained teachers to become certified and find employment in Ontario. TugLibraries.on.ca, Tri-University Group of Libraries, details of the organization, projects, and programs that define the collaborative initiative to share resources among the libraries of the Universities of Guelph and Waterloo, and Wilfrid Laurier University. Canadian teacher websites at blog.feedspot.com/Canadian_teacher_blogs. 2peasandadog.com/blog. blog.virtualwritingtutor.com. browniepointsteaching.com/bptblog. cha-shc.ca/teaching/teachers-blog. createadreamexplorer.com/latest-on-the-blog. esenfacultysoft.ca/blog. fishbowlteaching.com. jenmcdonald.wordpress.com. readingpowergear.wordpress.com. shelleygrayteaching.com/latest-posts. teacher5etoiles.ca/en/aspiring-teacher5etoiles-blog. teacherstogo.ca/blog. teachmag.com/archives/categories/blog. Chapter 4. Provincial Offices of Education. Provincial Offices of Education. Alberta. Alberta Education. West Tower, Devonian Building. 11160 Jasper Avenue. Edmonton, UB T5KOL2. 780-427-7219. Fax, 780-427-0591. ednet.edc.gov.ab.ca. aecd.gov.ab.ca. British Columbia. Ministry of Education. POG 9156, STA. PROV. Government. Victoria, BC V8W9H2. 250-387-4611. Fax, 250-387-3200. bced.bc.ca. aett.gov.bc.ca, Advanced Education. Manitoba. Department of Education and Training. Legislative Building. 450 Broadway. Winnipeg, MBR3C0V8. 204-945-2211. Fax, 204-945-8692. gov.mb.ca/educate. New Brunswick. Department of Education. POB 6000. Fredericton, NBE3B5H1. 506-453-3678. Fax, 506-453-3678. 3325. gov.nb.ca/education. Newfoundland. Department of Education. 3rd FL. Confederation Building. West Block. epub 8700. St. John's, NFA 1B4J6. 709-729-5097. Fax, 709-729-5896. gov.nl.ca/edu. Nova Scotia. Department of Education and Culture. epub 578. Halifax, NSB 3J2S9. 902-424-5168. Fax 902-424-0511. ednet.ns.ca. Ontario. Ministry of Education. 22nd FL, Moet Block. 900 Bay St. Toronto, on M7A1L2. 800-387-5514. 416-325-2929. Fax, 416-325-2934. edu.gov.on.ca. Pay. Department of Education. 2nd FL. Sullivan Building. 16 Fitzroy St. epub 2000. Charlottetown, PECIA 7 and 8. 902-368-4600. Fax, 902-368-4663. gov.pe.ca/educ. Quebec. Minister of Education. 1035 Rue de la Chevrotière. 280 Etage. Quebec City, QCG1R5A5. 418-643-7095. Fax, 418-646-6561. meq.gov.qc.ca. Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan Education. 2220 College Avenue. Regina, SKS4P3V7. 306-787-6030. Fax, 306-787-7392. sask.gov.sk.ca. saskschools.ca. NWT. Department of Education, Culture and Employment. NWT Government. epub 1320. 4501 50th Avenue. Yellowknife, NTX1A2L9. 867-920-6240. Fax, 867-873-0456. sixic.learnnet.nt.ca. Nunavut. Department of Education. epub 2410. Government of Nunavut. Building 1088E. Iqaluit, Nunavut Koa Oho. 867-975-5000. Fax, 867-975-5095. Nunavut.com/education. Yukon. Department of Education. epub 2703. Whitehorse, YKY1A2C6. 867-667-5141. Fax, 867-393-6339. gov.yk.ca/departments/education.